welcome everybody. We're back for more Animus. We're on episode 30 now. And it's gonna be an interesting one. We found some a weird hidden door in a cave last session, and there was some interaction with their arch nemesis Rip, and him basically just being like, "Rip, I'm done. They told me you're not my problem anymore," and then just left them alone. The audacity of that guy, right? Um, Anyways, we'll see what trouble they get into tonight. But before we do, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves, say a little bit about their character, and then we'll hop on into all of it. So we'll start with the top left. Jay, tell us a little bit about Sparky and yourself.
Hello, I'm Jay, Aurelian Jays. I'm a writer and a role player in all the biz. Tonight I'm playing Sparky as always, and Sparky is going through, as always, some shit. In this particular instance, they're reconciling the fact that they are a clone now, and that Rip knows way more than he's ever let on, which is saying something. And the fact that they've really fucked up their relationship with Captain. So that's something they've got to, suss out and get sorted. And yeah, in general, they're getting less and less anxious and more dangerous, I would almost say, to themselves and to the crew to an extent. So we'll see where that goes.
Things are getting Darkwing Duck up in here.
A little bit.
Yeah. With that, we'll hop down to Vanessa. Tell us a little bit about Annie and yourself.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am a traditional artist. I work primarily in watercolor and pencil sketch. If you'd like to check out my stuff, I'm hoping to start getting into more updates on my art Twitter, so you can find me there, which is at PepperoDraws, and that's Pepper like the candy. And I play Annie, and we joke every week that she's kind of like the space anonymous of the crew. Pretty white. She dealt a lot in information brokering, in a situation kind of like steal from the rich and sell to the poor, rather than give to the poor. So she would find out information about higher up companies and then sell that information to their competition and things like that. But now that she has lost her memories, she's just trying to navigate her way through everything and figure out what kind of place she came from and who she is as a person. But yeah, that's Annie.
Cool. Next, we'd normally have Alex playing Seattle. I couldn't join us tonight, but we'll be back next week, and is also they're also in chat. Hi. But Seattle is the mechanic for the ship, and he's come up with interesting things like scalpel cannons and corpse cannons, and is also the father of Daisy, which is the main NPC that I play in the game. But yeah, definitely go check out at Canned Chaos Art on Twitter. And then we'll hop on over to Lisa.
Hi, I play Android or Captain. That's about the only name she has. And yeah, definitely she's a android, as the name implies, but she is a Black Ops murder droid that she still doesn't fully know what she's capable of or anything like that, or where she really comes from or why. But she's trying to understand humans and learn about humans. But as it stands right now, she feels like everyone hates her. And she doesn't get why. But hopefully things get figured out. But yeah, should be interesting.
Yeah, I feel like Captain is the Bernie Sanders meme where it's once again asking if you're mad at me.
Right.
Just so relatable. I want you all to know that I stopped at the end of the episode before the season finale to watch you because I love this. Just, aw, thank you. Thanks, Hope. And that just leaves me. So I play everything else in the universe, including, as I mentioned, Daisy Thornwood, who is she's I think settled on 19 years old. Is sort of a hacker, but a little bit different kind than Annie. She does more like hardware type stuff, and like breaking into networks rather than accessing specific information. Um, and she also built some things like a hover Segway that she made out of a regular Segway that she stole last session. She's a lot of fun, and also part of the crew. And then as for me, I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the different things that I do, from tabletop design, streaming, obviously. I'm a professional GM. I voice act. I do art. Whole ton of stuff. You can find out all of those different things at my link tree, which I'll throw in chat here. There we go. Then before we jump in, just a quick note on sponsors, which is also in chat, which is Fundamental RPG and Intrepid. Fundamental RPG is my own tabletop system that this game runs on, as well as Water that we do on Tuesday nights, and Hunters of Calamity was also on that system last season. You can pre-order that at coffee.com/raven/shop. The pre-order price is good until late February, when the game will actually come out, be fully released. Yeah, the PDF and paperback prices are both discounted, so those will go up a little bit once the full release is done. And the paperback prices do include shipping, so you don't have to worry about paying those later. And then Intrepid is IRL adventuring gear. So it's real life outdoor adventure, outdoor athletic and casual wear, as well as accessories like mouse pads and water bottles and stuff. Really cool stuff. You can find it at the same place. And that is all of the stuff we got to cover before we jump in. So we'll go into the story. When we left off, Liam was talking to Annie about the secret door in the cave. Sparky was super stressed about everything that we just found out, and also, the interactions with the captain. Seattle had tried to help Sparky through some of that. I think Seattle will probably be spending a lot of time on the ship, just doing engine maintenance and things like that, since Alex isn't here right now. So that's where Seattle will be if any of you want to interact with him. And then the captain was on the bridge contemplating life. So, what do you all want to do from here?
God, I don't even know. Like, because we're still on Mars, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the ship hasn't gone anywhere. It's still in the same spot.
Daisy didn't find much more from the decoding of the hard drives and everything, right?
No, pretty much what she handed over is what you've got. There are a lot of files that are encrypted. She just was not able to unencrypt them.
Okay.
Which is telling of how encrypted it is, like how secure it is.
I think Sparky might go for a walk.
Okay.
Yeah. They're gonna put on clothes to like cover the face, as well as kind of they're just gonna make themselves look nondescript.
Okay.
Kind of as like frumpy Tatooine wear as they can manage.
Okay.
It's the best way I can describe that.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do. And I believe when we left off, it was still morning. So
yeah.
So you still got plenty of time left in the day. Where is Sparky gonna go?
Sparky's just gonna kind of go through like the souks, the markets, not necessarily the busier parts of town, but just go for a wander to kind of parse things and think things through, and then maybe see if anything when they're walking triggers any memories, or if they recognize anything.
All right. Let's do a Let's do an empathy roll for this, actually.
Oh no. Okay, let me find that. I don't think it's
'Cause
very high.
You're walking around just trying to, get some connection to these surroundings that past you knew.
Right. I'm just realizing both the characters I play in Fundamental have wickedly low empathy. 10.
10. Yeah, you're not really feeling much of a connection to the place.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really seems familiar.
Okay.
But I will give you this. You probably understand that. Sorry, my green screen was doing something weird.
Mhm.
You probably do understand at this point that when you have remembered something or felt like a sense of deja vu, it's been because you had an emotional connection to your surroundings. So the fact that you don't right now might give you like a hint that you should look for something that might have that sort of strong emotional connection.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always emotional.
Yeah. But yeah, you're able to go through the whole area, all the markets and whatnot.
Okay.
It's a relatively small
Like settlement.
city, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Most of the market is basically just a giant like flea market, an open air flea market that they sell a lot of agricultural goods and adjacent.
Right.
So there's not a whole lot to see,
Okay.
but it is a nice, pleasant day. Nobody seems to recognize you with the getup that you've got on. But yeah, nothing seems particularly a strong connection that would make you feel something.
Okay, that's fine, because that was kind of ancillary to just getting out of the ship.
That's fair.
Just kind of getting out and like getting out of their own head. So, yeah.
While Sparky's gone, what's everybody else doing?
Captain wants to do some research.
Okay. What are you going to research?
God, it's hard to say.
Cow milk?
Not that kind of research. She does that on incognito browsers because she doesn't want anyone to know.
Why do they drink it?
Why? No. She wants to figure out if there are more of her.
Okay.
Or even like remotely an idea of where she comes from.
I see. How do you want to go about that? Like what specific where's your starting point, I should say?
See, that's the problem.
Always ask Annie.
It's true.
That is true. Annie might know things.
Yeah, Alex just put in the chat.
Hmm.
We had that info that we dug up about. We had a name.
Oh, true. The name.
Mm.
So I guess that name.
Okay. What was the name again?
God.
Sorry.
It used to be written down in freaking Roll20, and it's not anymore.
I think I have the old overlay file still here. Gabrielle.
It was Gabrielle something.
Something, yeah. I want to say it started with an R.
It was something kind of floral sounding too. I remember. It was like Gabriella. Yeah. I don't know. Gabriella
Oh, I can't think of it. It's like on the tip
I
of my
keep
tongue,
looking
though.
at Daisy's last name in Roll20, and I'm like, that's not it.
No.
Um, fuck. Uh,
That's okay. We can look that up later.
yeah, we're gonna
Um,
have to. But yeah, Gabriella.
Gabriella last name.
Yeah, Gabriella's surname.
It's Las Namai.
Just double checking. Yeah. Yeah, on the old overlay it just says Gabriella, quote unquote android. Oh well. Name pun. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I almost want to say Evergarden, but I know it's not that. That's
Was
just
it-
an anime I really like.
Was it Evergreen or something like that?
Maybe
Oh well.
something.
We'll
like
figure it
that.
out later.
Yeah. It could be shrubbery for all I know.
Everclear. It's certainly not clear right now what the name was.
It's just Everclear. It's just booze. No.
Yeah, let's. Is Annie assisting with looking that name up, or are you just looking it up on your own?
I'm just looking it up on my own.
Okay. Then let's go with engineering tech. And it's not really processing information, so I'm just gonna say no training on top of that.
Okay.
Basically, Google searching right now.
Okay, 19.
19. Something does come up. The spelling is a little bit different. Just off by like one letter. But a scientist that was sort of like a prodigy in robotics and androids. And there's like a whole, Wikipedia page or equivalent on this person, their career, how they started, like how advanced they are. They made a lot of advancements in robotics and things like that. And then sort of an Amelia Earhart-esque type ending to that story, where she was on a trip and the spaceship disappeared and nobody knows where it went.
Okay.
Didn't find any debris of the ship or a trace of it at all. It just disappeared.
Okay. Can I look to see if there were any known links to illicit activities?
Yeah. You do a little searching around and you see some like rumors that on less credible websites, rumors of this and that. If you'd like to go sort of deeper down that rabbit hole, it'll be another tech engineering role.
I'll give it a shot.
Feel free to use one of our D6s if you want.
Yeah, we're currently at 4 for the cast and 3 crits for the cast as well. I'm at 3d6 and 3 crits also.
Nat 20.
Nice. Yeah, you somehow stumble your way into some fantasy sci-fi equivalent of the dark web.
Oops, I opened a Tor.
And yeah, you're able to find some connections. Let's see, that would put you at a 41 total. Yeah. So nothing like super incriminating, like nothing that would hold up in a court of law or anything like that. But you're able to follow like some people's little digital murder boards and sort of follow the strings and see that, yeah, she definitely was working. There's just funds that were being funneled into certain projects that seemed way higher than they should be. Some secret interactions with military, like defense contractor type people, and some transactions between like shell corporations of a company that she worked with interacting with shell corporations of another corporation of something else that the cartel goes through. So it's like several degrees of separation between them, but people have like tried to connect those dots. So all in all, you find that it's entirely plausible that this person did create you, and probably in some connection to the cartel.
Okay. And I assume there are pictures of her.
Yeah.
And is that triggering anything?
It might, actually. I'm trying to remember how we made your character. Does she have the empathy stat at all?
Oh, good question. Let's take a look. She has one, yes. There are points in it. Not many, but
Okay.
yeah, she has it.
Okay. Let's have you roll that. A 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Not super triggering of anything. But I will give you this little tidbit. Her features look similar to yours.
Okay.
Not like somebody would see you and her next to each other and go, oh, that's the same person. But like you could be related. Strong family resemblance would be how somebody might describe it.
Okay.
Do you want to go deeper into this rabbit hole, or are you good for now?
I think I'm good for now.
Okay. Then yeah, you're able to disconnect from all of that without any issues. And you have that information. How about Annie?
Annie would probably be spending some time looking up the name that Liam gave her.
Okay. 1 sec.
Sure.
All right, I'll come back to that. All right, so the name that Liam gave you, and you're looking that up, so that's also going to be tech engineering.
Sorry, trying to log into the Roll20.
No worries.
It's a low roll. I can't remember what I have off the top of my head in my stats. I rolled a 5 though.
It was tech engineering, right?
Yes.
You have a 21 for tech engineering.
Oh, sweet. So it's
Yeah.
26.
26. Yeah, you find basic information. The equivalent of a corporation website where, like, here's the information about our CEO type thing. So a lot of accomplishments and things like that on, I presume you're looking for, like, just the last name. Which would bring up your father.
Yeah, so once that brings up kind of like the general stuff, Annie sends off a quick message to Liam and asks him what their mother's first name is.
Okay. Liam responds with what the name is. I think you told me last week, but I don't remember.
Her first name is Amélie. So she puts that into the search engine. It's Amélie Beauchesne d'Avin.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what Liam tells you.
I figured you'd want me to say it instead, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that would be the next search she does.
Okay. Similar thing. You get the this is the wife of the CEO page, and Annie's family being wealthy, there probably some like charitable work that she's spearheaded or something like that.
Love that. Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, it's pretty much your stereotypical rich CEO and the picture perfect family that they present is what you find.
Annie would probably try to see if she can find her way down any channels or rabbit holes where she could dig up any dirt on them.
Okay.
The juicy stuff.
That will also be tech engineering, and if you have hacking, that would apply.
Let me see. I have it listed in my training as like her information broker job. Would that be the applicable one? As this would have been the type of digging that she would have done?
Yeah. That would apply. But for this you might have to like because that does imply like trading information. Somebody may ask you for credits or favors.
Right.
Going that route.
The only other thing that I have specifically listed is the programs that she's able to use on like her holocard.
Yeah, you could use that.
Okay. Oh my god. The dice is not with me today.
Oh no.
That's a 31.
The dice are not
Even
with me
when they're
today.
not
It's a
with
31. Oh my god.
It's a 26 just from my skills. That's the only thing that saved me. I rolled another 5.
Oh my god.
Now, that being said, do I also add my information broker points? Because I only added the holo card.
It depends on what route you want to go. So with the holo card, like you can hack in and steal information essentially. But if you're going with information brokering, then you're sort of wheeling and dealing and talking to other people. So it would be more that kind of route.
Yeah, we'll just use the holo card then. There's only 2 points of difference anyway. So 31.
Okay. 31, yeah. You're able to find some information like the maybe the old stock portfolios not doing quite as well as they're letting on. Some dirt along those lines. Basically that shows you that what you're seeing on that corporate webpage, what you're seeing, the main public stuff, it all looks like they're doing great, but actually the company's having some issues, and you'd probably be able to put 2 and 2 together that he's kind of buying time while he looks for a solution to whatever this problem is. Probably literally buying time, like paying a lot of PR people and cleaners and people like that to make things look good.
Cool. Other than that, she probably doesn't push too heavily into it.
Okay.
Just kind of snoops around at that level, basically seeing, what directions, what pathing she can find for it. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right, cool. And quick rewind after some discussion with Lisa on what Captain's Crater actually looks like. I misremembered a conversation we have, so there's actually no very little resemblance, if any at all. They look very, very different. So we're gonna retcon that part. But they do seem familiar.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. Well, go ahead and fast forward a little bit. By the time Captain and Annie are getting done with their research, probably around the time that Sparky's, coming back, assuming that's where Sparky's going after the walk.
Yeah, I think Sparky would come back kind of into the late afternoon. Like they just spent half the day wandering around town. So yeah.
Okay. Then, yeah, you're all able to sort of meet up if you want. It's probably about dinner time at this point, or at least a late lunch.
I think Sparky would actually go and make some food in the kitchen.
Okay.
Like make a meal kind of for everyone on the ship, just as a, way of saying thanks for A, coming with me to the place, and B, not letting me kill myself.
All right, cool. Go ahead and roll art for that, to see how good the meal is.
Can I add my culinary to that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Still not great. 25 though. 25's all right. Or no, actually, it'd be 28, but yeah.
28. Yeah, it's a respectable meal. It's pretty darn tasty.
Okay. I have no idea what it would be, but it would be good.
I was gonna say, any particular dish or style that you're going for?
Probably just something really I'm just remembering stuff I grew up with. It's probably just like homemade buns from scratch and very simple veg and faux meat and that stuff. Just like a very simple family sit down kind of meal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Daisy will probably wander in about halfway through your prep and offers to help you with some stuff, like cutting up vegetables or something like that.
Yeah, Sparky will have her just prep stuff and clean up as they're going.
Okay. As she's chopping up vegetables and stuff, she'll probably give you a look, just sort of you doing okay?
Mm-hmm. I mean, no, but yeah.
She's like, oh, good, because I was gonna say bullshit, but I gotcha. The not okay, but okay. I get that.
Yeah. And Sparky will kind of put the knife down on the cutting board, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this information. I don't know what I thought this was gonna get me. I thought I would come here and find something and it would change my whole life in some significant way, and I guess it did, but I didn't think what it would cost me.
Daisy just sort of slowly nods while listening, sort of that, I'm engaged and actively listening to what you're saying, kind of a slow nod, and sets her knife down as well. Just kind of thinks for a second. Sounds like you were looking for closure.
I mean, closure or yeah, I guess that's probably the best way to put it.
I don't know that we're gonna find that for a while.
Yeah.
In any of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have my memories, of course, but we got some closure with Dad, but I don't know. I have a feeling there's. I mean, you were there. You saw the weird stuff going on. I have a feeling that's not over.
Yeah, that's. It feels like every time we find something else out, more we find out how big this whole thing is, and I'm scared of what that's going to mean for what we have to do when it comes time.
Yeah, me too. But
did Sparky like this like a no you go ahead.
Daisy sort of does a little giggle at that, and then says "but" exaggeratedly, and like literally like butt bumps you as a like friendly shove type thing.
Mhm.
At least we all have each other now, so whatever all this stuff is, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we will.
I mean, I'm sure it can't be that big. It's not like it's going to be up to us to save the whole galaxy or anything.
Who would do that? Who would expect that of us? That's no.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm just saying, like, you know how the stories are. Like, we don't have to be like, you okay, Vanessa?
I agree with
Yeah.
Nessa.
We're gonna have to save the whole galaxy. God damn it.
No.
Mid-conversation, Sparky remembers something, and they just send a quick text off to someone. I'll message you who it is, Raven.
Okay.
But yeah, just mid-conversation, they just quickly like...
This is not Daisy giving like subtle, ominous omens here. This is literally Daisy just being like, "That would be ridiculous."
Who would
Yeah,
expect
no,
us
see-
to do it?
The more you say, this is not what this is, the more I think that's exactly what it is. You can't win, Raven. Just don't say things, please.
All right. So for the rest of this season, I'm just going to be silent.
Master sign language, the silent GMing. It'll be fine.
Well, that won't work because they'll still be tone with sign language. So
I guess
I just
that's
have to
true,
be silent.
yeah.
So I'll just roll dice.
Learn Morse
and
code.
then I'll just roll dice, and then you all interpret what that means. Roll
That'd be a
20d6.
very strange
It
game.
would just put up some
Yeah.
tarot cards now and then.
Feels like that would be some kind of weird, like, performative art piece.
Yeah. But
We
no,
should do it.
Ekadorlax brings up a great point. You'll stay silent and they will whine about ominous silence. Anyways,
He hasn't said anything in days.
Yeah, Daisy's just like, yeah, I mean, that would be ridiculous. There's no way. I mean, I know that's how it happens on like all the fantasy stories and whatnot, but we've done impressive stuff, but we're not going to take on the whole galaxy. That's just silly.
But maybe the cartel?
Yeah, I think we could do that.
Yeah. I don't think we have a choice, though, because... and Sparky just kind of gestures to the whole ship.
I think you're right. There's another thought I had, which is, I mean, this isn't really going to make you feel better, but...
Sparky's face immediately goes like... What could it mean?
If they took Rip off the job, who has the job now? That music timing.
Yeah, no, thanks, Raven. I needed that in my life. Yeah, Sparky kind of just looks Daisy up and down like, yeah, no, you're right. That didn't help.
Yeah.
And they just go back to prep. They don't say anything, they just go back to like... They are going to send out a message to the rest of the crew that they're making a meal for everyone.
Okay. Daisy does say one last thing before our camera pans away. It's like, would it make you feel better if I let you ride the hover Segway?
Sparky kind of like, they almost want to look at Daisy and they do one of those like... just like double their efforts to prep. I know there's someone that's out there trying to kill us, but would you like to get on this two-wheeled death machine that I set up? Would that help?
It's not even two-wheeled anymore from the sound of it.
Yeah.
it just hovers.
Oh my god, I
It's,
love
it's
these.
basically the it's basically the quote of like, well, do you want some ice cream?
Which we already did that.
Yeah, it's her version of that. It's like, well, ice cream will make it better. It may not fix things, but you'll feel better. But after the silence, she just sort of shrugs and goes, okay, and continues helping you prep. What does the message say?
Just basically a check-in, just like a, hey, hope everything's going well. Give us a shout if you need anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Lisa. All right. So, fast forwarding a little bit again, unless there's any, just feel free to interject during the fast forwards if there's something that you want to do. But we'll fast forward to the meal's done. Everything's set out. Seth and Liam are there relatively quickly once the meal's done. And since they're both, teens, they are piling up their plates. What about Annie and Captain?
Yeah, Annie's gonna be there. She sees them absolutely demolishing food, and it's just like, can you slow down, you heathens?
Both of them look up at you at the same time with, like, cheeks puffed out because their mouths are full. And just go, what?
Maybe save some for the rest of us. You know, there is such thing as seconds, right?
Seth just, like, does the exaggerated gulp of swallowing with the food in his mouth. And goes, there's still plenty over there. I'll eat slower.
Annie just rolls her eyes.
So does Liam.
That kid is asking for a beating.
This
Just
fucking
saying.
I mean, Liam's rolling his eyes at Seth, not at you.
Okay. I thought he was rolling his eyes at me. I was gonna hit him.
No, he's just rolling his eyes at Seth. Basically, the kind of like "stop kissing up to my sister" kind of a expression.
For someone who doesn't have any siblings, I feel such an urge to smack these two as Annie.
Okay. So I assume Annie, piles up a plate as well, or delicately places things appropriately on the plate. Does Captain come in, or are you staying on the bridge?
Staying on the bridge.
Okay. Well then, probably about halfway through your meal, Seattle is also there, of course. Probably eating quickly and then going back to the engine room. That also would have been an interesting one, but no. So we're responding to something in Zoom chat. But Sparky, you get a reply about halfway through the meal, from the person that you contacted, and they let you know that things are not going great.
Any specifics about that?
Not super specific. Would you prefer me to tell you here or message it to you?
Either or. I'm fine with either or. Like,
Okay.
Sparky's not necessarily keeping it from the crew. They're just not announcing it right away.
Gotcha. So it seems like the big corporation company was content to let them, do their own thing for a little bit. But then, more workers tried to do similar things, and so they've decided to crack down.
Oops.
Yeah. So they're currently engaged in essentially a war. With there's more miners there now. There's more groups that have joined their sort of cause. But yeah, they're having their own little mini war out on the rim of the galaxy.
Okay. Sparky messages back. I'll get back to you, but I'll do everything I can to see if we can help.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if there's nothing kind of going on during the meal, Sparky's gonna like nod to Annie, but not really say much. Just kind of like, thanks. This meal is basically thanks for coming with me and helping on everything. And then they'll politely excuse themselves, kind of at the end of the meal.
Okay.
I hope you're ready, Lisa.
Ready as you are.
Here comes the field strain. Oh boy.
So I take it you're heading to the bridge to talk to the captain?
Oh
Okay.
god, yep.
Let's do this.
This is what 3 seasons of it's been all building up to this. I'm glad that we're both like super sure. Yeah, so they'll come onto the bridge and kind of knock on the door frame. Like, Captain,
Yes,
do you have a minute?
I have several.
That's probably good. So they'll come up and kind of sit near, but not like next to Captain, kind of like a meter or so away, just so they can kind of get the visual. First off, I know you can't eat, but I wanted to say thank you for coming with me to do the mission, even though I kind of jeopardized everything near the end.
You were emotionally compromised.
It was. And you did. In the moment, I was angry at you, but I'm not angry at you. I'm glad you held me back, because I don't know what would have happened if I'd actually seen Rib, if I just would have lost control further, if I would have frozen up, and I wanted to say thank you for stopping me as well, even though I didn't seem grateful at the time.
You did not, but you were welcome. I had no desire for you to sacrifice yourself.
And I didn't really either. I just wasn't really thinking straight.
I find that humans seem to think that other humans are bigger than them. You are all approximately the same size, but you seem to find others are bigger than you.
I mean, I'm kind of short, but yeah, that checks out.
Not literally. You seem to hold other humans, or maybe allow them to take up more space, despite their size.
Like, in our heads?
Yes, I believe mentally or maybe emotionally.
Is this about Rip or someone else?
In this case, yes, it would be about Rip. You've made him so much larger than he needs to be.
I guess, but also it's hard to overestimate how dangerous he is.
Correct. But he's still a human.
Debatable, but I get what you mean.
Is he an android?
if he had cybernetics, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think you're right. I think he is just a human.
Do humans do this with their parents?
Sparky kind of like shuffles on their seat a little bit. Like, I guess so. I don't really have parents, but I think that's kind of right. Like they're maybe some of it comes from because when you're little, like they're literally big, so maybe that just carries over.
That is true. I did not have a growth stage. So it is difficult for me to understand someone being more.
Gigantic.
Yes. I am small, but I am not that small. I just did not wish for you to throw something like yourself away over something that is the same size as you.
I appreciate that, Cap. I don't really have words to say how much I appreciate that. But I don't really know how to treat you, I guess, because I don't know where we stand. I never really know where we stand because sometimes, I feel like we're on the same page, and then the next day I'm I know I cause a lot of trouble, and I don't mean to. It hasn't been good. Everything I've done, we've done jobs, we've done things, we've gotten stuff done, but I don't mean to cause trouble and make you question what I'm doing.
You honestly do not cause any more trouble than anyone else in this crew.
It doesn't feel like it. I respect the hell out of you, Captain. And I still don't have words to really explain that either. But even before we knew that you had gigantic arm blades and could cut through doors, still trying to process that one. You never steered us wrong. And I think that maybe that's why you're so big to me, because you don't, I guess, seem like you're capable of failing, or like you think everything through so much more than we do, or I don't know, but it's hard not to see you as this big figure on the ship, because you're who we look to when things go bad, and even before that.
I suppose that comes with the title.
Kinda, yeah.
Humans like titles.
Yeah. Not always in good ways. Sometimes names are titles. Like Rip is a title almost.
If you allow it to be.
Sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. You don't have a choice. Not right away, anyway. When Rip showed up, I didn't have a choice to decide he's big or small. He was. He showed up, he knew me, he shot Annie, and he had full control. He had us all at the end of a barrel.
He did.
But
then you blew up his ship.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I caused a lot of the mess with this, though. If I hadn't blown up his ship, maybe he wouldn't have been hunting us so hard.
I'm just as capable of failure. Just in different ways. Annie seems to think I have failed you.
What do you mean?
She told me I am condescending, that I do not treat you kindly enough. She does not think that I handled your recent revelation. So I believe I do fail.
I don't know. That one's kind of a hard example because it's you did what you had to do in that moment. Like whether it was good or bad, it was the right choice. And I don't hold that against you. I mean,
That is good to know.
I did in the moment, but I don't. That was. Emotions are messy, like catastrophic, messy. What do you want, Cap?
With what?
Anything. We're all trying to figure ourselves out. I found out I'm a clone. Annie's dealing with her brother and, you know, the lack of memory. Seattle's got Daisy. People want things, you know, they want to know stuff, they want to grow, they want to learn. And I guess maybe just for me, I don't feel like we know what you want or want to do. You know, you're captain. You can do anything you want. You're capable of so much more than we are. What would you like to do?
Are you familiar with how androids, for lack of a better term, minds work?
Not really. Like, I've read some stories, but probably not accurate.
Typically, if an android is destroyed, you are able to, if you have another host for them, access that same android in a cloud-like space and simply upload them to the new body.
Okay.
I do not seem to have access to a cloud space.
So, like, if your body gets destroyed, there's no way to bring you back?
As far as I can tell, yes. I would like to know why. Or if there is a backup, where is it? Did they do this on purpose?
Sparky kind of just takes a minute to let that sink in. Just the idea that Captain can kind of die as people would. And they eventually look up at you like, why would someone do that? Why would... Who... This might seem rude, but who... Do you know who made you, Cap?
I have an idea, but unfortunately, she seems to be just as much as an enigma as the rest of this crew. She vanished, but I have no real memory of her.
I mean, if
It
there's
seems
one-
she worked for the cartel, though. At least in some capacity.
If there's one thing we're good at, it's finding people who are missing.
Or who do not wish to be found.
Yeah, that one too. If you want to go looking, we've got your back.
I do not know where to begin yet. But if I get to that point, I will let you know.
Okay. There is one other thing, Cap.
Hmm.
Do you remember that mining colony that we helped out kind of right after we first woke up?
I do.
Well, I just got in contact with them again, and it doesn't look like it's going well for them.
In what way?
Well, I think when we kind of liberated that space station a month or so ago, I think that gave the corporation kind of the needs or the means to start fighting a proper war against the rebellion. And they're kind of fighting a war. So if you don't want to get involved, that's fine. I'll do something kind of on my own without endangering myself or us, just to help them. But I kind of feel like we owe it to them.
Shall I contact Captain Nabisco?
Who? Because Sparky's like, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Vacation
I don't
grandpa.
think they've even been
Vacation
in the
grandpa?
room. Yeah, like I know who it is, but Sparky, I don't
Yeah.
think has been in the room when they've been on the screen.
He is the captain in that corporation. He is my friend. He is why you were not shot out of the sky or gunned down when you were on the planet for too long.
Oh. Maybe, yeah. Maybe he can help, or at least we can figure something else out. But I don't want to make you do anything if you don't want to help these people. That's like I won't judge. I feel responsible.
If it is important to you, we can.
Okay.
I will contact him, see if he has any information.
Okay. I'll ask the rest of the crew if that's okay.
Certainly.
Okay. Sparky stands up and kind of does the like slightly opened arms as like a can I give you a hug gesture.
Oh, this will be interesting.
Yeah.
Captain kind of just stares. She does not understand the gesture you're making.
Sparky kind of like lowers their arms just a bit, like can I give you a hug, Captain?
I have never given nor received one. This may be bad.
Oh, okay. And Sparky kind of leans in. You know when you've never met someone and you're not sure your relationship to them, you do that like a kind of hug. That's what Sparky goes in for.
I'm also imagining like when one of you's trying to do the side hug and the other is trying to do the other hug.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Possibly the most awkward hug that's ever existed on this ship.
Yes. Captain puts her hands on Sparky's back and
Sparky just makes a mental note like, oh, I'm not going to do that one for a while. We're going to shelve that one. We'll come back to that.
Sparky becomes suddenly aware of how metallic her arms are.
Like, I never realized how dangerous you were. Okay, so yeah, Sparky kind of detaches from the hug, gives like the thumbs up, and then like just pauses for a second, like, thanks, Captain. Yeah. And then they just start heading off the bridge.
You're welcome, Sparky. And she just turns around in her chair.
That went way better than I thought it was gonna go. Been dreading that all week. Oh.
Yeah, amazingly no tears.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked.
It was good.
Yeah, I'm way too tired for tears, I think. I'm just like, I'm all out. I have nothing.
All right. Well, that was the conversation took a while. Which is totally fine. But that does leave time for Annie to do something during that conversation. Is there anything that Annie's doing?
Annie is just chilling out today. Like, she doesn't have anywhere important to be or anything important to do. She's just living her life. Yeah, so she doesn't really do anything, I don't think, important while they're discussing anything. She'd probably hang out with Seth and Liam or something.
Yeah, I could kind of see still hanging around in the mess hall. Addie's not really doing anything, and then Liam just looking at you and being like, "I'm bored."
Looking at Annie and saying he's bored?
Uh-huh.
Oh. She's just like, okay. She nods, goes back to what she's doing.
Liam just grabs like a little piece of a vegetable, whatever, something that's not covered in sauce or anything, so it's just literally a piece of vegetable, and just throws it at your head.
She does that thing where she like slow raises her head and slow turns to look at him.
Urge to slap rising.
Mm-hmm. And she looks at him and she just says, "Can I help you?"
Did you tell them about the secret door in the cave and everything?
Not yet.
Well, can we go check it out or something? Meanwhile, Seth is like slowly inching away from Liam at the table.
Don't you have anything else to do? I mean, literally anything?
Liam's like, well, I've already played like most of the games that we've got on the computers. Checked out the market yesterday. There's not a whole lot else around here. I'm just bored.
Annie kind of puts that smirk on her face that they both share so well.
Uh-huh.
She's like, well, I don't personally feel comfortable letting you guys go check out a weird door in the middle of nowhere by yourselves. I think we've learned that lesson.
That's why you come with us.
Yeah, see, I know I'm cool and all, and cool, tough big sister. But I'm not quite sure what's down there. So what I will tell you is that you can go ask Captain if we can go check it out. You can come back and tell me what she says. And if she says sure, then yeah, we can go.
But see, this is why I told you,
Mm-hmm.
so you could go tell the captain.
This was not my find, sir. This was your find. You can tell Captain.
Yeah, but she's more likely to say yes if you ask her.
How do you figure?
I don't know. She knows you better.
Listen, I got away with my get out of jail free card when I convinced her to go save you. So I already used that card. It's your turn.
It's like,
I'm just imagining him going to the bridge, and she just looks at him and says, "Who are you?"
yeah. He was like, maybe I could ask Daisy. No, that wouldn't work.
No. If it comes from anybody else, then I'm saying no go. I'm staying here. You ask Captain yourself. And you know what? It's very, very possible that she's just going to say yes. And in that case, sure. But, we came here for a reason, and a secret door in a cave was not that reason. So, like I said, you can go get that answer and bring it back to me.
Liam just gives a sigh, and then slowly gets that same smirk that you just gave him, and slowly turns his head to look at Seth, who is oblivious, still eating. Goes, Seth, buddy, friend, best friend. Why don't you go tell the captain? Seth just looks like he's completely missed this entire conversation and has no idea what's happening. And goes, What am I telling the captain?
You're not telling the captain anything, Seth. Liam, it's you or no dice.
Seth just gives you this look like, how dare you interrupt... Bump my microphone. How dare you interrupt my scheme? And eventually just resigns himself to having to do it himself. Seth, still oblivious, goes back to eating. Just gives you a look of like, okay. And looks at Liam's like, she said no, whatever it is. And goes back to eating.
Do you want to sleep over at my house? Hold on, I've got to ask my mom. My mom said no, sorry.
Yeah. It's like, I just got off of being grounded, so I don't want to get grounded again, so no. Alright, then yeah, Liam's gonna make his way to the bridge.
As he leaves the mess hall, Annie gives him one of those waves, you know, where you like twinkle your fingers, like, see ya.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's exactly,
Yep. Yeah. And you don't literally see this, but, you know, the audience just sees this little... Liam will remember this over Liam's head as he walks away. But yeah, he makes his way to the bridge, and Captain, you just hear this soft, sort of hesitant knock on the doorway of the bridge.
I feel like this is a product of them having spent way too much time together in their downtime. Now they just act like siblings.
Yeah.
Captain's not even gonna like look from what she's doing. She's just gonna say, "What? Enter."
So Liam is literally like behind the doorway, sort of leaning out. It's like, hey, Captain, you know, everybody just calls you Captain. Is it Captain something that I should call you? Like is there a name after Captain?
At this point, she's going to slowly turn in her chair, stare at him for a second.
There's just half a Liam is all you see because he's leaning out from behind the thing. Like when you're awkwardly trying to talk to somebody, like a roommate who's in their bedroom, but you don't want to like go into their bedroom.
Yeah. Oh no, I know. My 5-year-old does this already. It's great. She's just gonna stare at him for a second and say, "The only designation I contain is Captain. Are you hiding?"
To hide? No, I wouldn't be hiding. Just, you know, didn't want to impose. Awkward pause. And then, anyways, so I was telling Annie yesterday that, or this morning, I guess, we found a weird hidden door in that cave that we went to. That seemed like it might be of interest to the crew. It's this weird door with a keypad. It's down in the cave. I can't think of anybody other than like maybe the cartel or somebody like that would put something like that there. Thought we might want to go check it out.
You want to actively seek the cartel again?
No, not the cartel per se, just whatever they have hidden in there I thought might be useful. I mean, we're not that far from that facility thing that I heard y'all went to before it burned down. Might
We're
be
actually
related.
quite a distance from it.
I mean, you know, relatively close.
And you wish to go explore it?
Yeah, you know, responsibly with the rest of the crew and equipment and stuff. Since we're just
I
sort of
suppose
just
there
sitting
would
here.
be no harm at this point. You may ask other members of the crew if they wish to join.
Okay, great. Yeah, that sounds good. Did you want to check it out too, or?
I will probably come along. I see better in the dark than any of you.
Yeah, it's pretty dark down there. That's a good idea, actually. All right, cool. He starts to get like more excited. Well, I will. I will go ask the rest of the crew.
Okay.
Thanks, Captain.
Mm.
He wanders off. And then goes to the mess hall, pokes his head, and says, "Captain says yes." At Annie.
Annie had no expectation that Captain was definitely going to say no. She just wanted to make him do it himself.
Yeah.
So she just looks up from where she's sitting and she goes, "Good job. All right, we can go."
Like, I don't know why I had to be the one to ask, but anyways. She's coming too. It'll be great. All right. So we got Captain. We got you. Seth, you're coming. And Seth again goes, "What is going on?" And Liam just looks at him and goes, "The cave. We're gonna go check out the door." "Oh, okay, sure. Sounds good." Is there? I mean, Liam's gonna ask people, but is there anybody in particular that would like to go on this journey out of character?
I think Sparky will go, but they want more information about what the fuck it is.
Liam's literally gonna tell you there was a cave, and then when you go deeper into the cave, there's this like door, like, you know, like not like a house door. It's like a secured door, and it's got a keypad.
Show me on the map where you found the secret cave.
He pulls up a map, and it just literally just points to the cave. It's like, so we went to this cave, and then while the local kids were making out and doing their stuff, we went, and he starts to like describe it because there's no map of the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so we went over this little ledge and we climbed down about 3 feet, and then we ducked under this other thing. So there was like, I don't know, like 3 feet of crawl space that you could actually like get through. And then we took a right, and then what came after that? We took a right, and then there was like another little drop off, and then after that, we got to this little clearing, and that's where it was.
Sparky's kind of thinking to themselves, like, is this what I sound like to the rest of the crew? They don't make any change in their facial reaction, but they're just like, is this, wow, I didn't need to know any of that. So they're like, I will go, but we should do some research maybe on it to figure out, you know, is there anything close that could be, maybe we can figure out a way to scan through the ground or something. But before we go, we shouldn't just walk into a secret cave.
And Liam's giving you this like nod thing, like he understands, but he doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just nodding like he understands. He's like, yeah, we could do like the ship sensors might be able to do.
I'm picturing the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Sparky will message Annie, and see if she has anything extra that Liam perhaps did not mention.
Okay. And Liam too. Just as a more description of Liam,
Mm-hmm.
like, can handle himself pretty well for like a normal teenage kid.
Yeah.
But he didn't have like the same amount of training that like Seth had. He wasn't there that long, so he's trying to do stuff that he's not really had training for.
Right. He's like a month in, but he's trying to pretend like he's had like 6 to 12 months of experience.
Exactly, and he's very much
Just
acting
for
like that.
Yeah, for context, this kid grew up cushy most of his life.
Okay.
So like access to any kind of physical activities that he wanted,
Mhm.
but it wasn't like he was, a world champion boxer or something,
Right.
No. Not at all.
Oh,
really,
the
really
sparky
smart kid with kind of along the same veins as what Annie does. Not so great in like, physical combat.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's context.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
boy.
for him, it's like I took several years of karate. I'm an expert at spelunking, so I should be able to handle this no problem, right? Basically, where his mind's at, and that's very apparent in talking to him.
Sparky stands up and gets like a little closer to Liam and just stares into his eyes for a minute. Bang! And just sees
He
what
does a little
does.
jump. Was like, what the hell was that?
If we're going into a cave on Mars, it's probably going to be cartel or other people with guns. How do you feel
Okay.
about getting shot at?
It's not my favorite thing in the world. Happened to me once. Wasn't a fan,
Mhm.
but y'all are gonna be there, so it'll be fine, right? You'll get shot at all the time.
That doesn't mean it's fine. It just... I want you to really, really think about this before we go. If you get shot, what's going to happen to Annie? How is she going to react? Because you just ran in.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna just run in. Just
That's why you're asking everyone on the crew if they want to go and investigate this spooky secret cave. Because
Well,
you're
yeah,
not just
well-
running in with no information.
no. We'll check out the door, and then depending on what we figure out, maybe we can get it open, and then we'll sneak in, not run in.
Here's a piece of advice, Liam. Because I've kind of been where you are. If you're leading it, get ready to fuck up and have to compensate.
Okay.
And Sparky will just kind of pat him on the shoulder and then escort him out of the room.
Okay. That's like the one thing that Liam goes, oh, okay, and kind of takes that one in.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it's just right over the head. But
Totally. Sensors, yeah.
it's like, yeah, I know how to fly the ship. The sensors are probably,
Part of that.
similar. Yeah.
Captain doesn't know why, but for some reason she just like twitches and looks around.
Yeah. Also, sorry
Um,
if that bang was super loud. That was not. I should have done that away from the mic.
Oh no, you're
Oh, it
good.
wasn't that bad.
Okay,
It wasn't that bad at all.
I've got noise gates on the stream too, so
Oh, cool. Okay.
anything that's too loud, it stops it at a certain decibel level. All right. Well then, since we're plotting and possibly scheming at this point, it seems like a good time to take a break. So I'll let everybody stretch your legs, grab some snacks, hydrate, take care of yourself, and then we'll be back in 15 minutes to go cave diving, it sounds like. So we'll be right back. And we're back. All right, so when we left off, there was planning that needed to be involved. It sounds like everybody's on board. I think Seattle will probably be the one to stay with the ship. I'm just saying that Seattle's doing like an engine overhaul type thing where it's like taking everything apart and putting it back together.
Oh, is he not spending time with his favorite child?
I mean, Daisy's kind of busy.
Oh, sure, Daisy. Yeah. No other children on the ship.
Oh, I see.
That way I knew exactly what Jay was talking about. And then, like, Raven was like, yeah, Daisy. And I was like, no.
No, that I think that would explain like why Seattle's not involved with everything. It's doing like the 100,000-mile tune-up thing that just takes all day. But yeah, it sounds like everybody else is coming along. Sans, Seattle, and the Doctor. So yeah, Liam looks to you, Sparky, and says, "All right. So do we just go to the caves? Like how do you all normally do this sort of thing?"
Sparky's gonna look at Annie and just do a knowing like, this fucking kid. Liam, it's your thing. So you
If you
decide.
listen quietly, Annie just makes like a small snorting sound when Sparky looks over.
Yeah, so Sparky's just gonna say like, it's your party. You can cry if you want to, essentially.
Daisy's also watching all of this with just a little smirk, both smirking at Liam, and then looks at you, Sparky, and gives you a smirk too.
Finally, someone other than us we can shit on.
Yeah. Does anybody grab any equipment or anything?
What equipment do we even have on the ship?
You've got pretty standard stuff. So like you would have a rope. You would have guns. We know you have explosives.
Mhm.
Like, I guess let me put it this way: what do you want to have, and I'll tell you if it's actually on the ship or not. Because you have a lot of general equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Annie is sick and tired of being caught with her pants down, so not only does she strap her daggers to her thighs, but she also breaks out the crossbow.
Nice. Nothing like a
Okay.
classic. Yeah, I think Sparky will bring their hold-up pistol, but they'll also bring something a little heavier gun-wise. And then they're also going to ask Seattle for just like a bunch of tools that he's not using so that they can potentially get through something else in the door if they can't hack it.
Okay. I think when you ask that, Seth will actually speak up and say, "Oh, I've got some," and he shows you this toolbox that he's very, very proud of, that he's been slowly putting together with Seattle's help of his own set of tools.
Sparky's gonna give that look of like, and you are like just like a quick like what who the fuck are you and what have you done with whoever I thought Seth was, and then it says okay, yeah, cool, bring that'll help.
Seth's like really excited about it and make sure he packs those, and because he's been spending a lot of his spare time trading with Seattle on how to do stuff.
Jeez. Okay. That's all for Sparky, at least.
Okay. So Annie, you've got your knives and your crossbow. Anything else that you want to take?
No, probably just like basic like rope and whatever climbing gear and stuff like that. And I'm probably a little more serious of a note. She does produce an extra belt with like little daggers that can be sheathed around it, and gives that to Liam to take as well.
Okay. Liam kind of gives you a look of like, it's appreciative, but also like, what am I going to do with this?
She looks at him and she starts speaking very slowly, and she goes, "Knife pointy, make very big ouchie when hit skin."
Yeah, he just looks at you and goes, I don't know how to throw these things.
I assume that as a kid you probably like threw a baseball once in your life. Have you just is your aim that bad? Like, just
He just looks at you with like the most Harrison Ford exasperated look on his face and goes, "That's not how throwing knives work."
She's like, given the fact that we don't really have time for an entire 6 weeks worth of lessons right now, it's good enough. If anybody gets too close to you, take one out and stab them.
It's like, fine. I guess that makes sense. Probably don't want to be shooting guns in the cave in case of cave-ins. Things like that.
Sparky's eyebrow goes through the fucking roof. Like, I'm not even gonna. I can't. No.
Liam looks over at Sparky and sees this. It's like, not that there's gonna be a cave-in, just like, just like you wouldn't go shooting a gun on climbing a snowy mountain because of avalanche risk. Don't want to shoot a gun in a cave.
Sparky just gives the slightest of nods, like,
Captain interjects with there are models of gun that can be shot on snowy drifts without any consequence of that sort.
Liam has like this like 2-second, "Oh, that's amazing, I want to learn more," and then, quickly shifts to the nope, focus. So it's like, we're putting a pin in that for later. But he does help everyone get enough rope, make sure you all have harnesses, enough climbing equipment, also has like a handheld like oxygen supply. So not that it's gonna, you wouldn't go scuba diving with this, but if you get in a spot where there's not a lot of oxygen, it can save you from dying for a little while. And puts all of this together and walks you all through it, in case any of you don't know how to do like rappelling or spelunking and things like that. And at the moment seems incredibly competent and like he knows what he's talking about. Once that part's done, the excited kid comes back and he just says, "All right, let's go." Excuse me, goodness. And starts leading you on the hiking trail towards the cave. He's taking point. Who? What order do you go in? Who's right behind him?
Probably Annie.
Okay. Seth's probably right there too.
Yeah, Sparky will be kind of second to last, I think.
Captain takes up the rear.
Okay. And right behind Captain, you hear whirr as Daisy comes up on the hover Segway.
Of course she does.
Daisy, I do not believe you can take that into a cave.
Oh no, I know. I'll just take it up to the cave. I'll just, I'll leave it at the entrance when we go inside.
Somebody could.
Don't come.
it.
Yeah, never mind. That's what Annie was gonna say.
That's where I'm too, don't worry.
I just imagine them all saying it at the same time, just being like, "You do realize someone's gonna steal it, right?"
Like, come on.
I mean, I guess they could carry it off. I made it so it's biometric starter, so they can't do it without my hand. And honestly, like, if they cut off my hand, I think it's going to be the least of my worries if they're stealing my Segway.
Yeah, I would just carry it off. Not that I would steal it, but if I were gonna steal it, I would just carry it off. Also, people probably aren't like walking to the cave, so they'd probably have a ship with which to carry it off.
Fine.
It's more.
I'll
so
wait
you
until
don't
I
have
put
to
more
listen to
anti-theft
complain
stuff.
about losing it.
She just gives you like the most indignant look of like, I wouldn't do that. She knows full well that she would, but she's
Yeah, I was like,
saying,
if Sparky had glasses, they would do
she lets out another exasperated sigh, but takes it back onto the ship and walks out, not unlike a toddler pouting. Just, you know, the stompy steps, crossed arms. All right, let's go do this, I guess. The trip up to the cave's relatively uneventful. You pass a few people hiking up and down. There's a couple of local kids that when you pass, Seth just does the, like, you know, hand over the eyes. Yeah, exactly that right there. And Liam just does a little chuckle. But that's all there is to it. They don't really recognize any of you. And then, yeah, you're able to make it to the cave, which is what you would expect of a rural teen hangout spot. So there's definitely some litter around. There's a bunch of spots where people have made like fire pit type things. There's probably a little bit of graffiti on the walls, and things like that. But once you get into the big mouth of the cave, you can see there's a spot at the back where you can climb down. And it's basically what Liam had described. So Liam goes down first without any issue, and is down there to sort of guide you as you go down. Who goes over next?
Annalise.
All right. I'm going to need a might check to lower yourself down gently.
Oh shit!
On this
Hold
rope.
on, I was head first in the fridge. 1 second. Might?
Yep, because you're
What's
having to
my
lower
dice?
yourself down with the
We're so fucked.
with the rope.
I have a 21 in tech engineering. I have a 3 in might.
Hey!
That's a 16.
It's not graceful. There's probably a few moments where you slide down faster than you wanted to. Probably let out a squeak or two, but you make it down without hurting yourself.
But did anybody die? No.
No.
We're fine.
That's
I
pretty
love that
much
that's
like
the
the
bar.
low standard for this group. Is anyone dead? No?
Not
Okay.
even is anyone
They
bleeding.
should've
It's just, did anybody
accomplished.
die?
Yeah. No, we bleed too often in this group. Yeah, I guess Sparky would go down next.
All right, might roll.
Give me
Might
catch
you
me.
make it down?
I won't. It's a 17. Oof.
Same kind of thing.
Okay.
It's very rough. There's several moments of just, you know, where you're supposed to gently lower yourself down, and you just hear this.
Yep. Yeah, I've done cave spelunking, and that shit happens. It's
Oh,
terrifying.
does it really?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
Oh,
Yeah, because you're like, oh,
No, it's
everything-
not cool.
Oh, it's not cool. Everything's cool.
No,
everything's-
that's
like-
the sound that it makes.
It is, yeah. There's a gaping black abyss below you, and you're like, huh? And your hand slips a little, and all you hear is, yeah. It's not fun.
Yeah, not like not cool that you're almost dying. Just but that
Mhm.
sounds cool.
Yeah, the sound is neat. You don't focus on it as much when it's happening, though.
Yeah. All right. All right. So that makes Annie and Sparky. And then Daisy will go next. Who also has a 6 in might. So this will be fun.
Oh, look at that little show off.
Yeah. She like rappels down, no problem, is doing like the fancy like leaping off the side, and the rope does the little wiggle thing. As
Wouldn't it be a
as she's
shame if someone smacked her in the head in the dark?
Oh my god.
Show off.
like she's legitimately not showing off, but she's doing a
Mhm.
really good job. And she makes it all the way down and unhooks, and is like, "Oh yeah, I remember having to rappel down some buildings because we were getting away from. You know what? That part's not important. That was neat." Which leaves Captain and Seth.
Captain's gonna make sure everyone's in first, so Seth, go ahead.
Seth gives you this really awkward look, and is just like, technically, since Liam and I are both rated for these caves, I'm supposed to wait until everybody else goes down and then go down last. Just,
You're what for
t-
these caves?
rated? We're certified for climbing down caves like this.
I've never
They-
heard that term, sorry.
Yeah, I'm rated for caves like up to pretty big, actually. But I mean, you're captain, so if you want me to go first, I'll go first. But like, technically, I'm supposed to wait.
She's going to stare at him for a second and then just go,
Okay, I'll go down. So he goes down, no problem. Does the fancy rappel thing and all that, and gets down to the bottom, and is clearly still having this inner conflict of like, she's the captain, but they said you always make sure the least experienced climbers go down first, and then you follow up, and
A lot of people looking to get a sisterly smack on the noggin today.
this is all just going on in his head. He's not actually saying anything, but he's clearly distressed about it. And then Captain, however you want to get down. If you're climbing down the rope, it'd be might, but I imagine Captain
Can she
could practically just jump down.
I was gonna say, can I just jump down?
Sure, it's not that
Cool.
far for an android.
I was gonna say I could make it extra creepy and she could like crawl head first down like
Digging her arm blades in the rock face as she goes.
basically.
We respect Captain. We also fear Captain.
Mm-hmm.
No, Captain just jumps down.
Okay. Seth just looks at you and is like, yeah, that works too. That's good. And then Liam leads you all through this labyrinth of tunnels where you have to like hunch over. Excuse me. And at one point you got to get on like hands and knees and crawl through a spot. Content warning claustrophobia, because some of the tunnels get pretty darn tight where you're single file. And Sparky, imagine you're probably thinking at this point, like, you didn't mention any of this part. And sort of like glossed over that.
Yeah, I sure did. And Sparky, like, if they can catch Liam's eye, they're gonna give him like a gesture to the rest of the cave while they're climbing, like, fucking, these are things that we need to know. As much as you can communicate that with a look.
Yeah, Liam just looks over his shoulder at you. He's like, no, we're almost there. It's okay. And sure enough, after a little bit of that, you do come to an opening. So it's like a cavern. It's about the size of I'm trying to think of how many square feet that would be. Probably like 1,000 square feet. It's pretty big. Like the size of a small house. And there's a couple of lights in here that shine on a door. It's just in the rock face. And it looks sort of like a spaceship door. Like it's definitely one of those that it either slides to the side or lifts up or something like that. It doesn't have like hinges or anything like that. And right next to it is a keypad. It's got numbers and letters on it, like separately, not just like a phone keypad.
Sparky's
Liam's
gonna look
like,
at
"Yeah, see?"
Annie. Yeah, like this is way beyond what I know. Yeah, anyone want to try a crack at it?
Liam and Seth are both looking at the rest of the group like, "We found the door. This is all right. Your turn."
We did our jobs.
Mhm.
Is there anything special about the keypad?
Not really, other than the fact that it's got letters and numbers, so it's like almost like a QWERTY keyboard, but not quite the full keyboard. It's just the letters and the numbers. It does not look like anything that you saw at the cloning facility.
Does the keypad look well worn, or is it new?
It's a little dusty. Like there's some dust in between the keys, and things like that. But aside from that, it looks new. It's not scuffed up or anything. And no, there are not any keys missing dust.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Can we pull a kids' TV show? Are there any keys that have more oil from fingerprints on them?
Yeah, no, you're not going to be able to steal the Declaration of Independence.
I was about to say that. Darn it.
That's unfortunate.
Sorry.
We're gonna
Really
steal
wanted
the
to steal
Declaration of
that.
Independence.
The answer is Bunker Hill. Isn't that what the password was?
Yeah.
I think
Don't,
so.
don't
God, why
remind
do
me.
I remember that?
I want to watch it. It's so stupid, but I love it.
I love it
Anyway,
too.
Yeah, Sparky will look at Seth and just say, like, get your tools ready just in case.
Okay. Seth is doing the, like, mentally walking through checklists that he studied and things like that. It's like, all right, so this tool probably won't work because it's this material, and let's see. Yeah, he's just digging through, and you hear rattling noises as he's moving tools around, trying to figure out what to grab out of there. Liam does look at Annie and is like, "You think you can figure it out?"
Does Annie know the password? I'm kidding. Is there any spot in which she could take the holo card from her necklace and shove it into it?
There's no interface other than the keyboard. Which is not to say you couldn't potentially make a new interface. But the only one that's like actually built into it is the keyboard. And it's mounted on the wall, like, pretty sturdy.
Interesting. I have no idea.
This whole fucking crew stopped by a keypad.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm remembering, you escaping an art heist by literally blowing out a wall. And you're just like, fuck, a keypad.
That's because we had explosives.
But you have a captain.
We do
That's
have a
true.
captain.
Does this door look pliable?
It's a pretty sturdy reinforced door, but you don't feel like it would be impossible.
All I can
But you're not-
imagine is going into like a Home Depot and being like, "Yeah, where are your pliable doors on a scale of 1 to 10?" Are we talking like tissue paper, like fiberboard?
Well, if we can't figure anything else out, Captain will happily try to pry open the door.
Daisy does look at it and says, I might be able to pull that keyboard apart and give you an interface to try something, but I'm not sure.
I also don't know if we should cut the door open yet, because maybe it has an alarm system. I mean, whoever built this clearly didn't want it found.
Annie motions to Daisy to do her thing.
Okay. Daisy looks at Seth and goes, "Hey," lists off like a very specific type of screwdriver, like down to the size of the tip of it. And he digs through, finds it, and hands it to her. And she just sort of like half lays back against the wall, half like leans. It's an awkward angle, but she's like propped herself up on the wall and is looking at the underside of this keyboard, starting to take it apart. He's like, "Yep, this might take a second. There's a lot of screws." While she's doing that, is there anything else that you all want to do? Anything you want to investigate or try?
Yeah, I think Sparky would investigate the rest of the wall just to see if there's any like sensors or maybe cameras even.
Sure. Let's do a sight check.
Okay, something I'm actually decent at. 27.
Yeah, sorry, I just saw.
So did
I just saw your message in Zoom chat. Oh my god. 27. Yeah, as you look around, you can see that the wall that the door is in is pretty much the same material as the rest of the cavern. It's clear that like some of it has been removed at some point and then put back, and then like sort of the gaps puttied up with like some sort of concrete. So there's probably at some point some construction that they had to do to make this opening bigger and then go back to being smaller. There aren't any cameras or sensors that you can really see. But the door frame looks pretty high tech. And so you wouldn't be surprised if there are like pressure sensors or something like that in it. You don't physically see any, but you know enough about this sort of thing to know that could be in there.
Okay, yeah, Sparky would share that with the rest of the crew.
Okay. Also, you probably noticed there are several different footprints on the floor. Most of them belong to all of you. And maybe 3 or 4 of them belong to other people.
Who else came down here with you? And that's to Seth and Liam specifically.
They both look at each other and then at you. As far as we know, we were the only ones down here. But I mean, like, it's a popular hangout spot. It's possible some other kids came down here. Or whoever uses that door for something.
Something's not right here. And that's not in character. That's just me thinking out loud, like something extra has been going on.
When is anything ever right?
I mean, yes. Yeah, I don't know. I think Sparky will just start investigating footprints and trying to like size them up with people.
Okay. Yeah, like 1 or 2 of the tracks look like they could be smaller feet, so it might be a teen.
Okay.
And one of them definitely looks like boots, though, like a full adult male, like Bigfoot boot.
Raven. Do they look like duster boots?
No, they're not cowboy boots.
Okay.
It's not Rip.
I'm always gonna check. It's always gonna be Rip.
It's not
listen,
Rip.
Listen, he's like the hitman. He's just always there. Yeah, that's all Sparky's doing.
Okay. All right. Well, then, after a while, Daisy finally gets the keyboard pulled apart and has a bunch of wires pulled out and has basically spliced them together with this like, it's like a USB port equivalent basically. And I was like, all right, I think that should work. So you can plug tablet or something in that.
Spliced, you say? Suddenly we're under the water. Yeah,
Oh,
so
damn
Annie...
splicers. Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god, that was really good.
It was, yeah. Yeah, Annie is going to pull out the holo card on her necklace. Pop it in there.
All right.
I'm sure she has some sort of code cracker, some sort of password cracker on there.
Yeah, let's do tech engineering along with the holo card bonus to see if it is able to do so.
Come on, please roll higher than a 5 this time.
Excuse me.
Ooh, that is indeed higher than a 5. That is, let's see, 39, 44.
44. Yeah, it cracks the password, and the door opens.
Annie takes the holo card out and she whispers under her breath, "Yeehaw."
All right. On the other side of the door, it looks like a narrow hallway. Sort of like, I don't know if you've ever seen any movies where there's like a submarine or like a Navy ship where it's showing these like narrow metal hallways that they go down. It looks kind of like that. It's only enough room for one person to walk, like single file, down this hallway, and there's a bunch of metal pipes on either side that run down, and goes for about I don't know, 10 yards, maybe 10 meters, somewhere around there, and then cuts to the right.
What does the hallway
You
look
know-
like? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you know when someone looks at you triumphantly and they're just like, and like does the little head wobble?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Annie turns around and looks at the rest of everybody and is just like, oh, look what I did.
Okay.
Sparky's gonna nod and then like gesture down the hallway, like, oh, you did it. You go ahead.
To Annie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she gives you some finger guns and makes her way down the hall.
All right.
All right. This won't end badly.
You know what?
We're gonna sneak
either
in, he said.
It's either we don't do anything fun and it ends badly anyway, or we have fun and it ends badly. Either way, it's going to end badly. So why not have some fun?
I wish I could say you were wrong. I really do.
No, you're fine. Nothing
Whatever.
happens. Nothing happens
Okay.
as you walk in.
Yes. My trust in you has long since left, Raven. So I'm running on the assumption that you are always lying. What kind of projectile is going to almost kill Annie today? Stick around, folks. Let's test it out in the last 5 seconds of the episode, shall we? So yes, Annie continues down this hallway. What is going to impale her? What is going to make her fear for her life, ma'am? I'm prepared. Let's go. What am I running into today?
Wow.
Headlong down this hallway.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's?
Give me a hearing check.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be a hearing check? One of my lowest
Do you want
stats.
just Annie to do that?
All of you can do it.
Okay.
Annie's gonna have the best
17.
chance of hearing. 17. Okay, no, Annie doesn't hear anything.
Annie never hears jack shit. What difference does it make?
It's all that loud music you're listening to.
Yeah.
Damn kids.
All those episodes of Three's Company she's been watching on
Oh my
blast.
god. Well, everybody. Wait, that's the wrong. Sorry, wrong show.
Please stop
Oh, that's
it.
Cheers.
It sure is.
Oh my god. Anyways, so no, Annie doesn't hear anything.
Great, so she's
Sparky-
walking into her death unaware. Let's go. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Ekanor like just said, you hear your paranoia complaining of all the hard work it has to do. Oh,
I
that's
can
cool.
hear that in his voice. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at our legs.
That is pure
Oh.
gold
Love
right
that.
there. So yeah, Annie, you don't hear anything. Sparky, you hear the nearest equivalent I can think of is like the Enterprise bridge noises from like the original series.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like the hum of a computer monitor, some other monitors that make noises that are
Right.
making sounds. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, that's all you really hear.
Do we see
Coming
anything
together.
like that?
No, because the hallway turns.
Okay.
So does Annie go all the way down and turn?
She
Or
gets
you'll
to the
mention that to
end.
her. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she gets to the end and looks down the hallway. She doesn't just keep going. She looks first.
You see a giant ballista.
You see a flamethrower pointed at. No, I'm kidding. As you look down the hallway, you can see there's like, it looks like a command and control center type room. It's a big room with a bunch of like banks of monitors and equipment and things like that. Sort of on opposite sides of the wall, and there's two chairs, one facing each bank of monitors. And on the other end of the room, there's another doorway which goes somewhere else. But that's what you
Is
see.
there
There's nobody
anybody-
in there?
Okay, I was gonna say, is there anybody in the chairs? Intrigued by the computers, as she would be, Annie makes her way down that little hallway and takes a look at the computers to see if there's anything particularly on them.
Okay. Before we get into that, does anybody follow in? Is anybody else going inside?
Yeah, Sparky would follow that.
Somebody stay out the room. I have the feeling the door is gonna lock. So just so that we're not all trapped inside, someone stay out.
Welcome to the cave escape room.
Okay, Captain will stay out.
They're so paranoid.
It's
And
not like
never
you
light
haven't
up
given
eyes
us
anyway.
reason to
No.
be.
Can you blame us?
No, I can't blame you, but it's really funny. All right, so Annie, as you look at all these monitors, you see like cameras all over the settlement, all over this town. The vast majority of them being looking at fields, so farms, things like that. Not sheds, barns, where animals are housed. And then there's a lot of them that are pointing at some sort of sensor or something like that are placed around rocky areas. Your best guess, maybe it's the mountains like that are around the town. So it's sort of like we do in Phasmophobia, where we put an EMF reader down and then a video camera right next to it to watch it. It's kind of like that, where it's watching something that's monitoring something else. And then the rest of it looks like computer servers and like racks of computer type stuff.
Is any of it more than just a monitor? Like what I'm imagining is just a bunch of like screens, kind of all over the place. Is any of it like on an operating system or on a desktop or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. each station has like a computer that's powering all these monitors.
Okay. Sparky will sit down at one.
Okay. As you sit down, the chair's super comfortable. Like, unusually comfortable. Like, this is a very expensive, very nice chair. Like
a monitoring station, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might also notice that all this equipment.
Good.
Okay. Good idea.
Yeah.
You might also notice that all of this equipment seems top of the line.
Okay. Yeah, Sparky will mention that everything seems like really fancy. Like, wow, this place is decked out. But they're not going to mention the chairs because they don't want Daisy to haul these things back to the fucking ship with her.
Funny you say that, because Annie, looking at all of these computers and monitors, runs her hands over them, looking like she's trying to determine how much of this she can haul out and up the rope again.
Here's the thing. I'm actually okay with you taking all the monitors and computers. It's just the chairs we don't need. We can buy comfy chairs. Oh my god.
Oh my god. If you would like to try to learn, yeah, the computers are unlocked.
Okay.
They're accessible. Anybody is welcome to roll sight that goes into that room to see if you notice anything new. But those are the obvious things.
Okay.
Nothing. 14.
18.
Yeah, you don't notice anything different, anything new. Daisy's like looking down the hall, right at where it splits, because she's also a little nervous about like everybody being in the same room. But she does call it like, what is it? Like, what's going on? What's in there?
Annie flops her whole body into the other chair and starts like wheeling around the room, looking at all these different computers.
It is literally the most comfortable flop into a chair you've ever experienced in your life. Before the wipe and after. You don't know how you know this, you just know this.
She rolls her chair up next to Sparky and leans over, one elbow resting on like an armrest, and just whispers, "You think we could take one of these back to the ship?"
Sparky kind of leans over without looking at her while typing on the computer and is just like,
whoa.
Why?
Thank you so much, Dr. Alejandro. Came in with $25 donation. Would you like to do an asset for the cast? Or a challenge that I get to give them?
I mean, an asset, of course, an asset.
I actually am also kind of leaning towards the challenge. We need a little spice, don't we?
A little spice. Yeah.
I'm assuming the yes is for the challenge part.
Okay.
Oh, I see the comment now. Sorry. I'm going to be Dr. Helpful today with giving the group an asset they can use. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yay!
We'll take it. Seeing as Jay consistently likes to remind Raven that they are unlucky. So
oddly enough, I haven't done it this session, Vanessa.
Nothing happened this session. Nothing happened.
Yet.
You think Raven's gonna do something to us in the last? Yes, she might
Yes,
actually in the
she
last
will,
14 minutes. Yeah. Bring it on,
Seattle's
Raven.
still on the fucking ship. Of course she will.
Bring it on. I'm ready for you.
Oh, Doc, you've missed mostly just emotional talking and shit talking. That's what the majority of today's session has been.
Yeah, and a teenage boy trying to convince the rest of the crew to go check out this door that they found.
Yeah.
Which is what
in
we're
the
doing
bottom
right
of
now.
a cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's been a very chill episode, surprisingly.
Comparatively, yeah. Is there anything on the desktop or otherwise that's interesting, more so than just camera 1, camera 2?
Yeah. There's not a lot of like logos or anything like that on the equipment. It looks like a lot of that's actually been removed. But the like the desktop, the wallpaper, just says Mom Sato, all one word. Mom Sato looks like a corporate logo.
CERN.
Can Annie see if there are any other like underlying programs, anything that she can dig her little fingers into?
Sure. So let me get a tech engineering roll from both of you, actually.
I just
No!
picture like Annie's leaning over Sparky, just like, oh, sorry, were you using this?
I can totally see that.
27.
Also a 27 for me.
Okay.
You were saying no to a 27? Oh my god.
Yeah, I only rolled an 8. I should be rolling higher than a
Oh my
27.
God, honey.
I didn't
You
put
have some
all of my
fucking-
my space points into tech engineering for nothing. 27 is not good.
I'm not at the top of my game today, just hacking the fucking Pentagon over here, no big.
God.
For
Yeah.
legal reasons, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is all
nobody wants to hack the
happening
Pentagon.
hundreds of years in the future.
Mhm.
Anyways, yeah, you're able to dig around, and there are like seismic readings going back for years for the whole area. Excuse me, goodness.
Like, how many years?
Decades?
Did we just find like a fancy seismographer?
I was wondering that too.
Yes, but also no.
Oh god.
Oh,
there's
wait.
more.
Is this a
Oh,
volcano
wait.
tracker?
No,
Oh.
it's not a volcano.
Don't think I didn't hear it, Vanessa.
I'm being paranoid. Leave me alone.
If you're quite done with the paranoia, I can tell you what else you find.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there's seismology readings for like the past 30 or 40 years from all around this sort of city settlement thing. There are extremely detailed records of like crop yields, who's growing what. There are farmer names associated with these records. Concentrations of different things in the soil, which all of this seems pretty benign information to find. But as you keep digging, there's also like records keeping track of like farmers and their families and where they go and what they do, and phone records and things like that.
The family that we found out by the facility, do we have their name by chance? Did we end up getting their family name, or was it just the guy, the father?
I don't think you ever did get their name, no.
Okay.
Wait, how rude. We eat their food and then don't even ask them their names.
Yeah.
We eat their food and get held at gunpoint by them, and we don't even ask their names. Sparky's gonna beckon Captain in. Just be like, Captain, we could use your help.
Captain will come in. What?
Sorry.
What?
I just pictured some kid doing their homework like, Mom, I need your help. Like, what? Never mind. It's it looks.
You can't use that fancy calculator I bought you?
Yeah, exactly. It looks like
That thing cost $80. What are you doing? Use your calculator.
Just go sit outside. It's solar powered.
Touch some grass. You might get some insight or something, you know?
It's because you always on that phone.
Yeah. Why don't you go?
Never
use a
seen a
fancy
calculator before.
Why don't you use a fancy calculator? Go count fucking rocks or something. I'll call you when dinner's ready.
Because that's how Captain talks.
100% how my mom would have treated me if I'd had a tiny calculator. So Sparky's just going to detail that it's like, you know, there's seismography, there's all these records, but like, it's weird that they would put this behind such a lock and key.
Is there any indication of who is keeping these records?
Was it Momsato?
Momsato, yeah.
Momsato.
Momsato.
Okay.
Does Captain know who that is?
Yeah, probably common knowledge. It's a big agricultural corporation.
Well, if it's agriculture, are they keeping non-agricultural information?
Yes.
Because it's possible they could be keeping track just for an almanac type thing.
But why would they make it under such heavy, like, why in a cave in the middle of nowhere on Mars behind a locked keypad? And that wall, they made that wall, like, structurally sound.
Would the captain like to dig into the computers a bit?
Yes.
Okay.
For some reason, I just pictured Captain literally digging into the computer.
She just starts ripping it apart.
I will consume the information.
What
so yeah,
should
it's
I
gonna be
roll?
tech engineering, and then you had Android as a training, right?
Yes.
You can use that as well.
Okay. Plus Android 3. So 21.
Would you like to add a d6?
Yes. If everyone's cool with that.
Whenever Raven asks, the answer is yes. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, let me. Oh my god. Oh, the
You know
natural
what?
one.
So it's a 19 plus. What was the
3,
total?
so 21 plus a nat 1.
So 22.
Yeah.
We'll call it close enough. You're able to. You're able to. You don't get all the information that I was going to give you, but you do manage to pull up another set of cameras, and these are inside people's homes, like a lot of people's homes.
Ew.
Yeah.
This
Like
does
Big
not-
Brother type stuff.
Yeah, like this does not appear legal. Can they see what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're basically like you're able to go in and access it, and then it pulls it up on the.
Okay, I wasn't sure if
monitors.
it was just like in my Android brain or something.
No. You're like watching people eat dinner and stuff like that. It's super creepy.
Would I be able to tell if this information not only being filmed, is it being sent somewhere else?
Not like. Not really from here. Like you couldn't tell. It's definitely being sent here, and just given the nature of everything, it's probably being sent somewhere else. But you don't know if it's like a live, like cloud sync type thing, or if it gets here and then they send it off.
Okay. Gross. And none of us have ever seen anything like this on any other place, as far as we know.
As far as you know, no, you've not.
Does any of it look? Sorry, I don't, if this was just asked, but does any of it look like the farmhouse?
Not that specific house, but they do look similar. Like,
Okay.
Probably like the same neighborhood,
Right.
quote unquote, because they're giant farms. But
Right.
you probably find one with the same floor plan.
Is any particular one like offline? Like, does one look
Uh,
conspicuously offline?
No. Good question,
Oh.
but no.
So did you say there was another hallway off this room?
Yeah, there's another door that is leading out of this room.
And is that keypadded as well, or is that just like a normal full door or something?
Wow, words are hard. No, there's no keypad on the door. It's just a
Okay.
button that you can push to open it.
Okay. Sparky's gonna
Forgot
leave
how to
Captain...
explain that for a second.
It's all
Sorry.
good. Sparky's gonna leave Captain and Annie to the tech side, and they're gonna grab Seth with them and just kind of drag him along. Like, come with me. I want someone to help me look at this door.
Okay.
And
So
then,
Seth
yeah.
follows you, and just given what you've just found and everything, he seems a little more on edge than he was before.
Mhm.
And he does pull out. He's got a handgun that he pulls out and gets it ready by the door.
Yeah, Sparky pulls theirs out as well, and kind of looks at Captain and Annie and does like a little like, we're gonna go this way, and then looks at Liam to see how he's feeling.
Liam looks just sort of like wide-eyed and just like, what the fuck is all of this? Like, he's looking at you like this is definitely not what he expected to see on the other side of this door.
Sparky's just gonna do just like, I told you so. And then nudge the button to the door.
Okay. It opens up, and it's very similar to how you got in here. It's that type of hallway, which then curves to the left.
Mhm.
I say curve; it's a sharp angle,
Right.
but it turns to the left.
Okay. Sparky's actually, before they go down the hall, Sparky's gonna come back over to Annie and Captain and just hand Annie the small scale EMP, making sure Captain knows that that's what's happening. Just like, if you use this, Captain, make sure you're not in the area, and just, you know, to if you need to scramble, if we need to go, like, okay.
Captain looks at it and says, "That one is too weak."
Excuse me.
To shut me down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's, yeah. Okay. Just didn't want you to get hurt.
Fair.
I don't know. They'll dip back towards the door.
Annie just gives like an okay symbol with her hand.
Okay.
Daisy has now moved into the control room and is already trying to figure out how to get this chair back to the ship.
Fuck's sake. Well, at least it took her 10 minutes. No, we're not tying it to a rope and pulling it up.
You could
She's gonna end up
always strap it to Mom Droid's back.
Mom, can we take this chair back? Mom,
I think she'll give up on this one a lot easier than the Segway.
But hover chair, Daisy.
Comfy hover chair, Daisy.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, that just gives me Wally vibes. So I'm gonna have to advise against that.
Wow.
Eva.
That just gives me like super villain vibes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Around on a-
Yeah.
Oh my
Hover
god, turns
chair.
around in the hover chair, but it doesn't stop properly.
So she's just hitting walls
Yeah.
all the time.
Like, starts corkscrewing around the room.
Damn it! That would fix that.
Yeah, Sparky will start heading down the hall and motion for
Okay.
Seth to follow them.
Okay.
I'm so
Uh,
sorry. I just got a mental image of of Daisy like going in circles and hitting walls and stuff. And as she leaves out the door, she goes, "Team Rocket's blasting off
Yeah, oh
again!" Like, fades into the distance.
I'm imagining like pinball noises.
Same, yeah, like
Yeah. Pling, pling, pling.
Oh my god.
We have fun here.
We do. Seth is following you in like tactical formation, giving you
Okay.
competent backup.
Okay.
This is like the one of the couple things he's good at. As you head down the hallway, if you peek around the corner.
Mhm.
It looks like a break room is at the other end.
Okay.
So there's like I wouldn't call it a full kitchen, like a kitchenette.
Yeah.
And a table. There's like a TV on the wall.
Hmm.
Probably like a couch. And the kitchenette is like it's small, but it's all like super fancy kitchen equipment.
Question. And this.
Also, there's an espresso machine.
Oh, good.
Yes,
This
question.
may be a stretch, but did Sparky remember seeing any like plates or cups in the room?
There were not.
Okay, that's probably good. Unless they're a very studious employee and they put everything back when they're done with it. Okay, yeah, Sparky will head down the hall towards the bake room, trying to be really quiet.
Okay. The break room is silent, pretty much. Maybe a little bit of a whir from the refrigerator, but that's about it.
Mhm.
It's relatively clean. There's a couple of dishes in the sink, but they've been rinsed pretty well. So you can tell that they've been used, but they're not really that dirty.
Must be robots. Humans don't do this.
Crap, I'm a robot. And yeah, there's like probably like not exactly a coffee mug. They're like the cappuccino mugs. It's like a bowl with a handle.
Mm-hmm.
That's got some. Well, it's got like the foam line where the milk foam stuck to the edge.
Right.
That's in the sink as well, but that's it.
As they go further in, seeing as Andy has stayed with Captain, is she able to pull up any video systems from inside what she's assuming is a small, like this is a small complex? You know, obviously there has to be something to this place. So she wants to know if there's any video feeds that she can pull up from inside.
Sure. That is something that you can attempt. It's going to need a tech engineering roll again.
You can certainly try.
Can I assist her?
Absolutely.
I really hate it here. I rolled a 2.
Oh, no.
That's a 23.
I got a 24.
All right. Are either of you verbally talking about what you're trying to do?
Annie is not.
Captain probably isn't talking unless someone's talking to her.
Okay, then Daisy doesn't know what you're up to and does not attempt to help you. So you're looking at like
pinball wizard over there.
Yeah, you're looking at like a 25 between the two of you. You can tell that there are cameras in here, like in the complex that you're inside of, but you're unable to pull them up. It's like there's a folder there, but it's grayed out, like you can't interact with it.
Can I
How
ask
long
Daisy?
before? Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's it.
Captain, what was it? What was that?
Can I ask Daisy if she would know how to access these files?
Yeah. Daisy comes over and takes a look at it and is like, you know, most of these cameras are wireless, so I bet you I could just hack in that way with the equipment that I brought with me. And she's gonna try. Holy shit. That's a 44. With her hacking, given that it's dealing with networking and hardware. So, yeah, she hacks in and pulls up the feed of all of them on her tablet and then transmits it to all of your computers that you brought with you. And you can see cameras in the room that you're in right now. So the control room and the break room. You are able to watch Sparky look in the sink. And then you see what looks sort of like a barracks. There's like 2 bunk beds in there. And like a Foot Locker type deal. Pretty Spartan in there, but everything's nice and it's clean. And you can see there is a bathroom, but you obviously can't really see into it because it's the bathroom. And that seems to be pretty much the end of the complex. Though just there's like a little tiny bit of a hallway just off of the barracks room, where it looks like there's a like a bulkhead type hatch in the ceiling and a ladder that goes up to it. But there's no cameras that you can access that follow that path. It just shows the hatch. And then also, you notice that there is someone sleeping in one of those beds.
Nice little just addendum to that, Raiden.
Do they look familiar?
No. All you can see is the back of their head. They're sort of like laying on their side. With their back to the camera.
Long hair, short hair, what do they look like?
Short hair. That's about all you're able to tell. Probably dark color. The lights are out, so it's like an infrared. So looks like their hair's
Large
probably
frame,
dark.
small frame.
Their frame is under the covers.
Wearing
Yeah,
a
so
cowboy
what
duster.
size? No, that's not what I'm looking for. But you can still tell kind of like the general. Is this a bigger person or a smaller person from the shape of them under the covers?
Hard to say, but if you had to guess, average size.
You're just full of helpful information today, aren't you, Raven? Thank you. Thank you for your generosity.
I could have had Daisy not help and you wouldn't have the information you have.
How generous of you, madam. Thank you.
You can have a little intel as a treat.
Just as a treat, thanks.
Please, madam, a crumb of intel. A crumb of intel, if you will.
Was there anything else in the break room in terms of doors or hallways away from it?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Was there anything from the break room or the hallway we were in terms of other directions we could go?
No, it seems to be like just one, like linear hallway.
And that was the only door out of
with rooms
like,
connecting.
control room, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And sorry, the reason I was laughing so hard is what popped in my head was like, would you like a video feed in these trying times?
Oh my god. Yeah. So
Me asking questions about the stature of the person with my hands out, like, please, ma'am, may I have some more?
So yeah.
How-
I would like to know if I can take them.
Yeah, exactly.
How many cubits long are their legs?
Were they to stand up and be in an aggressive situation, how, on a scale of 1 to 10?
How
Are they
much
left-handed or
difficulty would
right-handed?
how much difficulty would I have stabbing them?
If I had to
Left side?
statistically, if I had to statistically measure how much shit they could or could not kick, yeah, Sparky is going to motion to set like, there's nothing down here. Let's just head back.
Okay.
Yeah, and they'll put their gun away for now, but they'll keep their hand near it.
Okay. Does Sparky have like a computer with them? Like a tablet or anything?
Probably not. They probably only have like their like short range comm, whatever.
Okay. Then yeah, you didn't see that there's a person down that hallway.
Captain's
Okay.
going to say into the comm because she knows people probably don't have the sight that there's a person in the bunk, like in the bunker with us.
It's Sparky stops in like mid step and kind of like leans against the wall, like, I'm okay. Where? Because we just went in the break room and there's no one there.
At the end of the hallway, there is a barracks. Somebody's asleep in it.
Sparky looks back down the hallway, like, No, there's not. There's just a really small break room.
Other hallway.
Oh, okay. So Sparky will come back to the control room.
Okay. Also, just in case I wasn't clear, there is another door in the break room that goes down to that hallway. So the door's closed.
That's what I was asking earlier. That's why I was confused.
Sorry.
I was like, where the
Gotcha.
fuck is this hallway? Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
No,
it's all
so it's like it's like a winding hallway, and then there's like rooms breaking it up, essentially.
Okay. But yeah, Sparky will still head back to the control room and then close the door once they get back in with Seth.
Does your brain ever think in meme format?
Constantly.
Yes.
Pretty consistently.
Frequently.
Because in my mind's eye, I just see a picture of a someone tall in full armor pointing at the door in the break room, going, "This is the way."
It's not Thursday, Vanessa. Damn it.
Oh my god.
Can't stop, won't stop.
That's great. And then anybody that's looking at the video feed that Daisy brought up can also roll sight to see if you notice anything else, because there are more other things to notice if you have the sight.
Yeah, Sparky will have a gander now that they're coming back to see what's going on. Like, what's going on over here, team? What do we discover?
I got an 18.
I got a 19.
Okay.
Annie is useless as hell. She got a 12.
Annie
Okay.
sneezed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you noticed.
Fuck.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to do right now?
Are we leaving shortly? Yeah, is the crew ready to leave?
I would think that we should take the info we have and probably leave. Unless someone's feeling particularly full of the audacity juice. I don't know.
You can have a little audacity juice as a treat.
Oh my god. All right. Well, in
Are
that
we
case,
gonna go smack this person in the back of their sleeping head, or are we leaving?
I think, and this is Sparky saying this out loud, is like, I think we maybe should just like copy the data and get the hell out of here for now. Because if there's one, who's to say how many there were?
I mean, we could always just go up the spot that there's no cameras too. Now I'm intrigued. Damn it, Raven.
Could I get a hearing check from
Oh,
everyone?
for fuck's sake.
Oh, God.
Okay, sorry, I'm totally off topic for a second before I roll this dice.
Sure.
There are little tiny flecks that glow in the dark in this dice, along
cool.
with like the little droplets of red that look like blood. So I was curious, so I just held it up to my lamp for a second, and then when I looked at it in my hands, it's glowing very, very brightly, and it looks like stars in space. It's
Cool.
really cool.
That's
Wicked.
awesome.
You should take
Yeah.
a picture of that.
I will, and I'll post it in the Discord. So if you're not
14.
following the Black Feather Discord, certainly do that now.
Jay, honey.
I know.
What
Oh.
happened?
So I was so focused on trying to get us out of here and copying all this information that I wasn't even bothered about hearing anything. Someone's yabbering in my
No.
ear, and I'm like grandfather with a hearing horn, like, I attack his hay.
It's a
See how bad it
17
is.
from Annie.
All right. Yeah, it's kind
14
of bad.
from Captain.
It's kind of bad. That's cool. All of your rolls make sense because you wouldn't be able to hear anything because of Sparky somehow managing to fall out of the chair, bringing the chair down with them, making a super loud clatter, And from
I imagine
outside,
they go to like sit down with the crew, and they just do that thing where their ass goes like 3 degrees farther than it should have on one side. Just like sit down, and the whole chair follows with.
yeah.
Because I've done
So that you don't hear the thing that I was gonna see if you heard. You just hear that loud clatter, but then afterwards, you all can hear someone outside from the cave just going, "What the hell?" And that's where we're gonna end the session.
Fuck!
Are you really gonna do that to us right at this moment? I hate it here.
Madam, I respect you as an individual, but god damn it.
That's a
Hey,
mood.
I knew it was coming, and I'm kind of happy I didn't hear it.
Yeah. Oh,
Sparky
goodness.
just was like actively hearing elevator music in their head.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's it. Just do 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 do.
Yep, it was the Wii
Yeah.
music. It was 100% the Wii music.
Yep.
Like nobody's in the break room. Whatever.
Oh, Alex with a Raven
Yeah.
Gambit. So I can just tell you this meta. The thing that you were you could have noticed on the video feed, but none of you did, was that there were 2 foot lockers, and very clearly 2 people work here.
Oh.
You said a footlocker.
I said
It's like a small
footlockers.
town. There's 2 foot lockers.
But yeah,
It's gonna
I
be
was going to give
fine.
you evidence that there was another person, but
It's gonna be
none of
fine.
you saw it.
It's fine.
Well, and the fact that there's 2 chairs should have
Yeah, that probably should have.
I mean, there's that too.
tipped our dumbasses off, but you know.
So what I'm hearing is that next time we level up, I should be funneling points into hearing and sight.
It's not a bad
Apparently.
idea. Yeah.
Because we
And-
suck at this.
Listen, I have a 16 in hearing. Sometimes you just fuck up.
Yeah.
Sometimes all they hear is Wii music.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Do, do, do.
but they hear it clearer than
Oh,
us.
fuck.
Yeah. Oh fuck! There's 2 of them in here. I don't know where the second one is. He could be right outside the door. We should run. We should run. Oh, I could go. Let's.
Oh my god.
I would like to add, just for the sake of next time,
Mhm.
as we hear that voice coming from the outside, Annie just turning slowly to the entrance where they came in, going, "Well, that's not very yeehaw of you."
It's not very yeehaw of you.
Yeah. Just whispering
Oh my
it
gosh.
into the deafening silence within the room.
Okay, never mind. That's our raid cry.
I'll go ahead and make you a meme for that one, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just in the deafening silence after Sparky falling over and hearing that person say that from the outside, there's just like this, like it's so quiet you could hear a pin drop, and then Annie just softly whispering, "That's not very yeehaw of you."
Oh my god. Ooh. Well, on that note,
Jay, I have
go
the
on our
perfect
raid.
picture for the meme. Hold on.
Okay, I think we might be on the same one. Let me know.
we're gonna go on a raid here in just a second. Before we do, though, we're gonna let everybody say what their favorite part was, where we can find them, anything else they want to share or plug, and then also a quick note. Again, thank you to Doc Alejandro for the $25 donation for the asset or challenge, or I guess for the asset as we established. Since we're almost at the end, we will give that to you all next session, so that way you can fully utilize it. So take this week to think about what asset you would like to make this situation you're in easier.
A hearing horn.
All right. But yeah, we're gonna go around and do all that. So Lisa, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you? Anything else you want to share?
My favorite part was I loved the conversation, the dreaded conversation between Sparky and Captain, and that somehow nobody cried, because I was fully ready to. But I also enjoyed Steph being like, no, I'm more experienced about this, and Captain being like, get your ass down there, and then just jumping down. Like, you don't tell me how to live my life. Get your ass down there. I don't need your stupid rope. But yeah.
That was great. All right. Next, we'll hop on over to Vanessa. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you online and everything? And anything you want to share or plug?
Despite not having a whole lot in terms of planning what we were going to do today and then just running with it, just the sheer amount of momentum that we've had this session has been my favorite. Like, we just did stuff. Instead of worrying over planning and trying to get everybody on the same page, we were just like, all right, I guess it's fucking magic door, let's go. Which was great. I loved like Annie turning to Sparky and being like, hey, do you think we can get the chair up? That was awesome. Just the more Annie and Sparky get to interact with each other on the whole, I love it every time. It's never not funny. But yeah, as for where you can find me next, I will be here. What is today? Saturday. I will be here on Wednesday. Yeah. Honestly, the only way for me to tell the days of the week anymore is what game am I playing today?
Oh my god, that is such a mood.
Wednesdays are Exodus, Thursdays are Star Wars, and Saturdays are Animus. So yeah, I'll be back here on Wednesday, where I'll be GMing my Exodus game. Yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, it's very much that for me, just flipped. So it's like, what am I playing? It's water. Oh, okay, so it's Tuesday.
Just easier that way.
Yeah. And then yeah, last but not least, Jay, favorite part, where can we find you? Anything else you want to plug or share?
Yeah, I would have to mimic Lisa on this one. It was the conversation that we've been dreading having for like 3 seasons now, and I'm just as surprised as you are that there were no tears shed, because I came into this not only exhausted but fully ready to lose my shit. Like, that was genuinely weighing on me the whole week. Was like, how is this gonna play out? Like, when Seattle, when I'm crying with Seattle, or even with Annie, I know how it's gonna go to a degree. I never know how conversations with Captain are gonna go. So I'm very glad that it went through well, and I'm looking forward to not fucking things up, theoretically. But as well, yeah, just like Vanessa said, the sheer momentum we had this session was kind of terrifying, because we never go that hard right out the gate at anything, unless it's let's go rob a museum. So that was really cool.
And it's not particularly like we did anything
No.
like super high charge today. It's just we made the plan and then we did it.
Yeah. Today was a productive day. Yeah, that's me. You can follow me on Twitter at AlienJays, and then I did put the tweet out. Tomorrow is the last day for any slots I have open for Afterburner. There are currently still 3 slots available, so if anyone hasn't gotten in on that and you want to play a game that is literally just race ships fast around course and be as cool as possible, and also maybe some subplots around that off the track, then yeah, hit me up.
In the words of the great villain Palpatine, do it.
Yeah, do it.
Awesome. My favorite part. How did Econorlax put it? It was great. You hear your paranoia complaining of all the hard work it has to do. How paranoid y'all were going into the secret door.
Gee, Raven, great. Why is that? Why is that, Raven? Can you tell us, Raven, why that is?
That's
Raven?
Right here. This is why. Ow, sorry, I just kicked my desk. Yeah, it's just always fun when, you know, I'm like, oh, here's a narrow hallway, and you're all like, it's a death trap. Like, the hallway's not the death trap. It's fine. But no, it's always fun.
Oh, so you
Watch.
admit it's a death trap, though.
No, it's not really a death trap. I have full confidence in your abilities to handle this situation easily.
Right, so I don't believe you.
That's fine.
Define handle. Like, you can handle a lot of things in a lot of different ways.
As V put it earlier, I don't think any of you are gonna die.
Rad.
Smelling a lot of ifs coming off this plan.
Yeah, but see,
No.
I would also just like to point out that Raven consistently says, oh, it's so much more fun for me to torture you than it is for me to kill you, because killing you is final. So it's not the death that I'm worried about. In fact, the death might just be a gift at this point.
Just a little cherry on top.
Oh my
Just a
God.
little, how about some death as a little treat, you know? Get me out of here.
May I have a crumb of mortis?
Let me put it this way, without giving anybody any spoilers. You're not gonna die, and I really don't think this is gonna traumatize any of your characters. I think you're gonna be just fine.
Have you,
You underestimate our ability.
like, have you ever watched a show? Anyway.
Oh
I
my
mean, we
God.
went to a farmhouse and Sparky had a full existential crisis. I mean,
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I also think that
I
you
don't
misinterpret my my paranoia for this situation, because it's not specifically for this situation. It's for whatever shenanigans you as a DM are going to throw us into. So it's not particularly this cave or this
Okay.
person walking in. I just don't trust you anymore.
The truth comes out.
No, you're gonna be able to handle this situation just fine. I think you're really gonna enjoy like what comes of this, actually, and at least everyone but Sparky probably won't be traumatized. Like Sparky's, that's a good point. Sometimes Sparky it just happens.
Excuse you?
Spontaneous trauma.
are we gonna find a clone of Sparky and adopt it?
Oh God, no! Are you kidding?
No.
You can put that shit in the trash. Or
It's-
start up the fucking garbage compactors again.
Oh my God. Anyways.
Just a meme of like a trash can, somebody going, Kobe! Just throw the clone in the trash can. This bitch empty. Yeet.
Oh my God. But no, your caution in going into places is fun. And how you try to carefully now solve puzzles like this versus blowing it up.
Our explosions are well placed and timed, like out the side of a museum wall where hundreds of people are present and literally saw us do it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Not in covert things where we could actually get away with it.
Anyways, that's my favorite part, is just all of you and your reactions and how wonderful you play these characters. It's always a joy. Where you can find me next will be Tuesday at 6 p.m. GMing Water, which is the Subnautica inspired game that we do with Fundamental RPG. That one's got a lot going on that's been really cool. They found some really cool alien stuff last week that I'm excited about. And then other things to share or plug, just sponsors, which I'll throw into chat. Apologize for having to clear my throat so much. Right there, we've got Fundamental RPG, which we've been talking about. You can pre-order 2nd edition, which is what we've been playing on for this show. You can pre-order that at coffee.com/raven/shop. It'll be coming out at the end of February. So the discounted prices for the pre-order are good until that point. So definitely snatch those up before the price goes up. And the paperback prices do include shipping, so you don't have to worry about like extra later or anything like that. And then Intrepid, which is IRL adventuring gear. So like outdoors wear, athletic wear and casual stuff, accessories such as mouse pads and water bottles and things like that as well, with a adventuring tabletop theme to them. You can find that at the same place. So I think that's everything. We've got our raid cry, which is, well, that's not very yeehaw of you. And we're going to go raid, just making sure they're still there. Yep, they're still going. We're going to go raid Polished Cryptid. Definitely give her a follow and say hello if you're not following her already. And throw that raid cry into chat. And then I will see all of you on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.